We received a list from Nigeria of about over 1,000 people that will be repatriated. We have done as Home Affairs up to now 568 that we have cleared on our system. But for tonight, the first flight that will go out is 268 that is to depart. We have another flight that is scheduled for next week Monday, and we hope to have that the rest of the people being then moved out of the country next week Monday. Okay, so as the Department of Home Affairs, we are actually the responsible authority to deal with the issue of verification, status determination, and to see what the person has been doing in the country. So when we receive a list from the embassy indicating that they are intending to repatriate their people from here, we then take the list and read it against DHA systems. We look at the movement control system. When did the person arrive here? Did he stay longer than he's supposed to? Does he have a valid passport? If not, then we ask the embassy to make sure that there is an emergency traveling document issued to them. We then look at also the South African Police Services assist us to look at whether there's any criminal cases against these individuals. And when we have done all of that against the systems, we then have a one-on-one interview with everybody that is intending to travel. So they then would come into the embassy. We have our immigration officials who will then do the verification on a one-on-one basis to make sure that what we found in the system is indeed the case. So it's a thorough process that we are following. Normally what we find in at that stage, we find that people that are maybe on asylum documents, and we cannot allow a person being on asylum status to leave the country. We then send them back to go and cancel that asylum before we can allow them to depart. Following that exercise, we then arrange with the embassy for the removal of them to the airport. We hand them over to the Border Management Authority to facilitate that movement through the airport in order for them to be removed from South Africa. So on the one-on-one interview, what we are trying to establish is that how long have you been here? Where did what were you doing in the country? Do you have a family? Do you have relatives? Do you have any other documents that you are currently using? And we then picked up, for instance, with mixed marriages, that maybe a Nigerian man would have children here, maybe hope to take them along, but not having the permission of the wife. So we then prevent those type of, so that is the reason why we, at that last point, see whether we can find any other interceptions. Before we hand them over to the Border Management Authority, that exercise is then completed. Not a single person of the 268 is legal. And why we say that is because of the interviews, because we read against our system, and also because the embassy had to issue all the number of emergency travel documents. So if you have a passport that has expired, it's not a valid document. If you are here in the country with a passport and you have overstayed your visa, you are illegal here. So we then have to give you first a document from Home Affairs that says, can you leave the country? That is a form that we are issuing. We then also ask the embassy to give you an emergency travel document. So sometimes we have some difficulty of understanding why we declare a person, illegal, simply on those bases. And we had some experiences in a previous repatriation that we are accused of people not being, declared as we claim. But we all know that what we had encountered, and they were all illegal. In the same case here, we have 268 people that were issued with those documents, and they're all illegal. So following this exercise now, what we would do of the documents that in the list that is in our possession, we will then take them back to the department and ensure that we are then put them on a stop list. So they will all be declared what we call undesirable. It's provided for in the Immigration Act. And when we declare them undesirable, obviously it will be about a 5-year ban that they would, before they can come back to South Africa. We have cleared now 568 of them through the Home Affairs and other systems. We are leaving, about 268 is leaving tonight. So the remaining of that 560, about 300, will stand over until next week, Monday. That is the plan from the Nigerian embassy.